Do you think there's a bit of too much bureaucracy in the intelligence community too that can lead to situations like this? Like I had a former intel officer, Kervin Alcoin, Alcoin Analytics, and we talked about this very early in the podcast. Essentially, cases like 9/11, we had intel of that being a possibility, but you have this arm over here say this thing, this arm over here say that thing, and there's just eventually too much paperwork gets shuffled around that who knows the truth. Do you think that there might be just a little too many cooks in the kitchen type of deal where we'll have intelligence issues like this, and all of a sudden it's multiple layers, and that truth gets lost within that?
Oh, absolutely. I think we have about 23 agencies as part of the intel community within the government, so that's quite a few. We got the CIA and DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, and then all of the FBI's got their efforts. So yeah, there's quite a bit of intelligence assets that we have, and yeah, you could have competing information coming up to the president. You could, and of course, a lot of intelligence is raw, and a lot of intelligence needs to be interpreted.
Yeah.
What does it mean? And you can interpret it the way you, in some instances, the way you want, and that does go on as well. So obviously, we got it wrong. Is anybody going to come out and say, yeah, this is the reasons why, or any of that stuff? No, I haven't seen that. But yeah, the apparatus in our government can be so overwhelming that it can, you can have a conflict, and you could have competing harms and agencies that are just not working in sync together. And in intel, that could be very, very, problematic.
Yeah, I've had former CIA, FBI, and they've all discussed how there's that brotherly love between the agencies at times for some of these circumstances as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You want to hold on to what you have, right? There's always that competing information, agencies that compete against each other. And I think I mentioned that in the book where, America's longest war is our turf war. And that's been going on, since the very beginning. And agencies fighting for jurisdictions, agencies fighting for, money, agencies fighting for prestige, and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, I've seen that in my career over 20 years in the government, and I think it's gotten a little bit better after 9/11 because we recognize the need to communicate with each other and share information. Is it where it needs to be? In my opinion, no.
Yeah, that's we're definitely gonna have to do another episode where we'll dive into the career before the whole book and everything, because obviously I was going to say that off the top today too. We could probably be here for 10 hours just talking about everything, I'm sure. But going back to the story, like you said, there was a shift in perspective there. You realize that the way to approach this is basically tell them what they want to hear, and they're going to let you go. And it ended up working.
Yes.
You were able to get a trip to Iraq. So you put a team together and you headed off to Iraq. Immediately, you're hit with more bureaucracy. So can you speak to that situation as well?
Oh, sure. One of the things that we needed to do, the first thing that they allowed us to do was to go over and get a proffer. And what a proffer basically is just a statement of information that this person has value. And so they weren't going to let us bring him back. They said, go get a proffer. So that was our goal the first time. But leading up to this, it was my main concern was, even if we were fortunate enough to find him, to bring him out of hiding, would he even want to talk with us? After all that he'd been through, would he want to cooperate, even if I was lucky enough to find him? So that was always a big concern. And of course, we were fighting, the clock, and we were fighting all of the assassinations that were going on at the time. So all that was happening. We got over there. We got over there, and one of the first things we wanted to do was just get some cooperation from our own side, from our embassy and from our people.
Yeah.
To allow us to do this, to help us to do it. And basically, we were pretty much left on our own. Yeah. So we didn't have a lot. We had some military cooperation, but pretty much it was an effort and a mission just for our team.